Hi, everybody. This is Haley with Angie and Haley Present, and Angie's here too.
So today we're going to talk about, we want to add to the discussion about there needing to be better accessibility for people with disabilities when traveling by airplane. And I'll be asking Haley some questions. So basically, in a nutshell, what's it like traveling somewhere by airplane for you?
It's not very relaxing. It's definitely risky for me. I do get nervous because, well, for one, when going on an airplane, there's lots of people going in, and so for me, I have to be put on the airplane before everyone else to avoid injury for me. This is because I have to be picked up by somebody and placed in a special seat on the airplane that I bring myself. So not only does someone have to carry me on the airplane safely, they have to also set up my seat on the airplane, which is an old insert that used to go in one of my old wheelchairs.
And how is that? How is that seat?
It's not very comfortable. It's small. It's like 20 years old now, so I kind of outgrew it. And it's just frustrating because sometimes airlines don't see that seat as meeting the guidelines of a safe seat, because it's not a car seat. It's from my wheelchair, so it's customized for me. And we had to argue with a stewardess one time, me and a caregiver I used to have, to explain why I needed to sit in that seat on the airplane. Because according to the airline, it didn't pass the criteria.
But you have different criteria.
So that was one thing that happened. That was frustrating. Now, also, it's scary for me to get lifted in general, especially on an airplane where there's tight, narrow hallways and things to maneuver around. And typically I like to sit in bulkhead seating because there's more room for the person to get me on and off the airplane safely.
And nobody can recline into you.
Exactly.
And things like that.
That as well. So that's just the seating aspect of it. That's one of the issues. The other issue is hoping that the chair that I travel with, and I try to travel with my power chair because that's what gives me the most independence. I don't like traveling in my manual chair because I don't like going in my manual chair, period, because I can't push it myself, which means I'm stuck in a specific place until someone else moves me. And that's annoying and frustrating. And the other thing, though, is with the power chair, we have to make sure that we tell the airline staff what to push on it and what not to, what to unplug and what not to. Because I've had a scenario where we landed somewhere, my chair got off the airplane, but it didn't run because they unplugged something that we didn't know how to put back. And that means I couldn't drive my chair for a whole day. And I had to call a special wheelchair company to come to the hotel and work on the chair. And they had to take it back to their factory, bring it back the next day. So I was without a wheelchair for like 24 hours.
And how much was it pretty expensive? And How painstaking was it to get someone out to repair the chair?
It wasn't painstaking to get someone there, but it was, an expense that we didn't need to pay. We weren't planning on. It was, it was probably like $300 or $400 or more.
So the airlines, when they're handling your chair, need to be more cautious about how they're handling the chair, because it too can get broken, damaged. Yeah.
And that's an inconvenience on me and my family, or whoever I'm traveling with, because then they have to carry me everywhere, which is also not safe for me because I can fracture at any moment. So it's not fun to travel by airplane.
And you already have to think of so many extra things. It doesn't help when something else comes up while you're traveling.
Yeah.
It just doesn't help.
No.
Now, as far as people being patient, you already mentioned an issue with the stewardess. Are stewardesses and stewards generally patient with everything you need to do to board the plane? And also, are other passengers patient?
Yeah, the stewardess and the staff are usually pretty accommodating and helpful. I haven't really ran into anybody that was not accommodating. The customers, I haven't really had any problems either with that. The other patrons.
They're pretty understanding.
Yeah, which is lucky. Now, I haven't flown any international flights before, just because I don't think I would like jet lag, and it's not comfortable for me to be in a seat for a long period of time. So props to other people that are physically different that do go on airplanes for that long of a time, because wow, that takes guts.
So if everything went well on a flight, really smoothly, if you didn't have all these extra obstacles that other people don't have to think about, if you could go on an airplane with no problems, would you travel more?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, if I could sit in my own wheelchair on the airplane, I would travel more.
So is it safe to say if they could design airplanes where they had wheelchair hook-ins where you can remain in your power chair, it would be safer and easier for everyone involved?
Absolutely. And easier for the person's family and friends that are assisting this person.
Right.
It would be easier on them as well. Traveling in general is it's tiresome, but it would make it a heck of a lot more stress-free if I could stay in the wheelchair on the airplane. It would be more enjoyable and less of a risk for me.
Now, one last question. And is it okay if I ask about the bathroom on airplanes?
Sure. What do you want to know?
If you have to go to the bathroom really bad, how easy is it for you to get up and go to the bathroom?
It's not. That's another reason why I don't like traveling. And I don't like wearing a diaper either. So, do you guys like wearing diapers? Just asking the audience. Let's take a poll here. I bet your answer is no, unless you're into that sort of thing, which I'm not. So, it's very scary to go on in a bathroom on an airplane. I've done it once, and that was enough.
So the one time Haley had to go to the bathroom really bad on the plane, and there was no waiting, there was no holding it. So her mom and I assisted her to the restroom, and we had to kind of give the flight attendants a heads up. Do not let anybody come back here because we have to keep the door open. So I'm in there holding Haley on the toilet. The airplane bathrooms are so tiny. You guys know how it is. we had to keep the door open for both of us to fit in there. And so Haley's mom was behind me, helping me to support Haley and to,
Make sure no one would come in.
Make sure no one would come in.
Because the door was open.
The door was open. And
couldn't fit all of us in.
We had to ask
safely.
the stewardesses to keep people back from the bathroom. That's another thing of airplanes that is trickier. It takes a lot of planning ahead of time, a lot of extra steps that most people don't think about. I think it would be great if they just had planes with where people can just roll in their chair, because it's a lot easier and safer, especially for people with brittle bone disease and other types of disabilities where getting out of their chair causes more trouble than not. You can't just, like me, I could just pop up out of my seat and go and pee and be done with it. But yeah, for Haley, it's impossible.
Like I mentioned earlier, I don't want to wear a diaper. I don't have a catheter, thank goodness. So those things are not options. Well, they're options, but they're not my options. So.
Well, thank you for sharing with us, honey.
Thank you for asking. Love you.
Love you, honey.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Bye.
Bye.